You can only create what you can imagine.
So we are at the Mobile World Congress, and next to me there's one of our advisors of the MOCOM 2020 project. It's John Strand, and I would like to know, what are the key topics for you at this event? Did you see some trends already?
I would say that the interesting part is mobile broadband is really taking off. You see that this is a part of people's everyday life. The predictions down here says in 2012 close to 1 billion people will have a mobile broadband connection. I think if you look at products, the new Opera Turbo desktop browser is very interesting. The Opera Mini technology coming into a smartphone browser and into a desktop browser. So when you're on your mobile broadband, you can surf faster and you actually use less data. So that's interesting for an operator's perspective, but it's also interesting for the end user.
Okay. So did you see some interesting applications on mobile broadband, and did you test it, or?
I think some of the interesting things, what you have seen, for instance, the Yahoo application up there is quite interesting. You have a lot of small application companies around the conferences, which is particularly on the different national booths. There is companies from Ireland, companies even from Germany, companies from Sweden, Denmark and so on, which have specialized in a certain little area and made some quite interesting applications. So yes, there's definitely happening a lot of interesting things.
Okay, and you just mentioned IP billing. Can you explain what it is?
Yeah, IP billing, which says that today people know premium SMS, where you can send an SMS into billing, and a lot of operators also do web billing. But in the future and during the next 6 months, we will see a lot of operators launching IP billing, that when you use your mobile broadband connection and you go on the internet, you can just click on a website and then you're paying, and the cost of the things you're buying is put on your phone bill. It will not be like airline tickets and stuff like that, but it could be applications, digital content and stuff like that.
When will this be introduced?
This will be introduced during the next couple of months, starting in some countries and spreading around the world, the same way as premium SMS is spread all over the world.
Okay, so are there already companies who specialize on IP billing, or is it done by the operators?
Companies like MBlocks, NetSize, that kind of companies would go into this market and definitely offer it as a service to their clients.
Okay, and then there are here at the conference a lot of Americans as well. So what do you think about being an entrepreneur in Europe?
I would say a lot of these Americans which are here have no feeling with this industry. They're living in, you can say, if you look at this industry, the main part of the companies are non-Americans. There's very few successful American companies in this industry. And if you look at it from that perspective, the way the Americans look at it is like the iPhone is the only thing. Yeah. The iPhone represents 1% of the phone sale and 0.1% of all the installed phones around the world. So I think it's more interesting to look at the 99.9% of all the phones which is around the world, how people are using it. It's interesting to say there's actually more people which are using the Opera Mini browser than people which have an iPhone. That's also quite interesting, and if you compare to that, there's more than 260,000 people downloading the Opera Mini browser every day, which give you a quite good end user experience. It's quite interesting to see those numbers and experience those things. So if you're a young entrepreneur, you're down here, you have to take a reality check and don't go for the 0.1% of the mobile phones in the world which iPhone represent. Go for the 99.9% of the phones. That's where the money is. That's where the application is going to be used tomorrow.
Okay. And if you think about tomorrow, what do you think will change if the emerging markets know what mobile internet is?
They already know it. I think we have a very wrong picture of emerging markets, what's going on in Africa and so on. We consider them as black people with big stomachs because they don't get the right food. And in reality, a lot of these markets is quite advanced. I've worked at different places in Africa. I worked a lot in the Middle East. I worked in South America and Brazil. In Brazil, you have today close to 3 million people which are using mobile broadband. If you go to the States, the number's around 7 million people, and there lives more people in the States than there do in Brazil. So the mobile broadband penetration actually even higher in Brazil than it is in the States. So I think it's interesting to look at what's going on in those markets, and there's a lot of advanced people there, definitely.
Okay, so do you think that will change the economy as well, like trading goods via mobile from Brazil to Denmark?
No, not at all. I think that in that way, but I think the productivity and the way we can do a lot of things much better with a mobile phone is interesting, and also interesting to say what the mobile communication industry can do for the environment. If you take the CO2 from which your phone is representing for 1 year of use is equal to the CO2 release when you drive 1 hour in a car. So just looking at in that perspective, there's no doubt about that phones can make the world much more efficient and can actually do a lot also for the environment.
Okay, great. Thanks talking to you. It was very interesting.
Nice talking to you again, Monty.
So and enjoy the conference here, yeah?
I will. Take care.
Thanks.
Join the conversation at mocom2020.com.